Hello, and welcome back to the Making Motherhood Magical podcast. I am your host, Jayme May Bright, and I'm looking forward to spending a little bit of time with you today talking about making motherhood just a little bit more magical. I like to start the podcast off with my magic moment of the week, and I'm trying to think. I've had a lot of magic moments this week, but one of the things I wanted to share, which is kind of a very minuscule thing in life, but it's one of those things that just really hits me in the right spot. And that is when, like, say you're trying to fill a tea pitcher. Well, when I make tea, I have my hot tea in a pitcher, and then I have my jug that I pour it into to put it in the fridge. And so I put cold water in the jug, and then I pour the tea on top of it. And I know this sounds so silly, but when I pour, because I fill the water, it's not like a measuring thing, it's just a guesstimation. And so I put the water in the gallon jug and I start to pour the tea over it. And when it makes the exact right amount inside of that gallon jug, I just feel like little sparkles from heaven have fallen down on me. And that's such a minute thing, but that is what I'm talking about when I talk about making motherhood magical. It's finding those little teeny tiny moments that just kind of make your heart sing a little bit. Another one that I do a lot is I take vitamins and supplements and different medications, and I have like a pill container. It's about this big, and it has like a little strip for each day, and it has like morning, noon, night, whatever. So most of my stuff I take one of a day. And so I pour them out and fill them up and pour them up and fill it. So once a week, I have to spend 10, 15 minutes filling up all my pills. And I love it when I pour out the exact right number of pills. Some of them, especially the ones that I have to take twice a day or three times a day, because you're pouring out pills, you don't know what 14 pills are gonna come out. But for some reason, I have this unbelievable knack to do it almost every single time. And like I said, it is nothing that is phenomenal. This is no miracle coming down from heaven. It's just a strange little synchronicity that just brings me joy. And so that's what I want you to think about whenever you're thinking about your magic moment of the week. It doesn't have to be something, cataclysmically epiphany. It just has to be something that makes you happy and you feel just that spark of magic for a moment in your day. So I hope that y'all have many magic moments this week. It's going to be a great week. And I cannot wait to get into today's episode. Today's episode is all about music and how music brings magic to our life and how music is literally the vibration of our life. As you know, everything is made of energy. We're all just different atoms vibrating at different levels and wavelengths and all that. So it's absolutely mind blowing to me how much music can change our vibration, not just our vibration, water's vibration, plants' vibration. Music has a way of literally altering how we are functioning. Just think about it. Think about if you're driving down the road and you're pissed off because there's traffic and you've had a shitty day and your husband's being an asshole, your kids are being brats, and then your favorite song from high school comes on. How do you feel? You feel better, don't you? Because it took you back to a time before all of the present stuff was bothering you. So it literally is like a time portal sometimes, because I've been such a musical person my entire life. Like, I am one of those people that learns every word to every song that I love, and I probably would learn every note in every instrument that I could play if I could play any instruments, because music just gets into my soul on like a cellular level. And while I was researching for this episode, it was really interesting to me to see how scientifically true it is that music really does alter us. It really does. So I'm going to get into some of the research that I did about music, and we will talk about through it about how these things relate to making our lives more magical. But besides just making us feel better, music really literally has many mental health benefits. Now, I know we're new at this podcast, so y'all don't know me all that well, but I am a mental health warrior. I have struggled with anxiety and depression my entire life. And I really have always used music as a form of therapy long before I ever knew that that was such a thing. Like music therapy is real and exists. It is something that people do. It is a job that people have. In fact, one of my favorite friends from high school is a musical therapist in Texas, and he is flipping amazing. But I whenever I can find something that is a small thing that can make a big impact in your mental wellness, I am going to share it. I'm going to shout it from the rooftops. And music is one of those things. Think about if you make a playlist that you put all of those songs that when you hear the first two notes, you are already like, oh my gosh, that's the kind of playlist that I'm talking about that can change your life. I have a playlist that I call Magic. And on that playlist are all kinds of different songs from all kinds of different genres, from all kinds of different artists. But every single one of them sparks something inside of me that I cannot explain. And I know that if I am not really feeling it today, any day, whatever day, that I can put on that playlist and transform everything, literally transmute the energy that is flowing inside of me that is frustrated or anxious or sad or whatever it is. Whatever I'm feeling that I'm really not into feeling that I want to feel better, I can put on that playlist and I know I'm going to feel better. In fact, when I think about it, when I almost all of my Spotify playlists are of that same level. They all have a theme, but they all bring me such immense joy. And I challenge all of you to do that yourself. I think everyone should have a magic playlist. And I would love for you to share yours with me if you have one or if you make one. I am on Spotify, the world's okayest magic mom. It may be under that. It may just be under Jayme Bright. But I absolutely adore sharing playlists with people because I think it tells you so much about a person's soul depending on what they put on their music playlist. So make your playlist, share them with me. Go check out my playlist. I've got several that are really good. Some of the titles are a little funky, and I will let you go and see them yourself. But yeah, music and mental wellness, mental health, it is such a game changer. It reduces stress and anxiety. It improves mood. It literally improves your sleep patterns. It can improve memory. They do a lot of music therapy with people that have Alzheimer's and dementia. And it's been proven that it improves their cognitive abilities listening to music. That to me is so magical. I mean, I can't even think about being old and literally not being able to use my brain correctly anymore, but music being able to bring me back to me. That is beautiful. That is magical. Music also helps with PTSD. It can help people recover from really traumatic experiences. It also promotes social bonds. I mean, just think about it. When you have a friend that loves the same song as much as you do, what do you do when you're in the car listening to it? You crank that up, you roll down the windows, you sing it at the top of your lungs because that is how music gets inside of us. It's infectious. And when you have multiple people that feel the same way, I mean, think about going to a concert. I don't know if any of you have ever been to a Dave Matthews Band concert, but let me tell you, there's some serious music loving fools there. They are so in tune with each other and so in tune with the band. It is mind flipping blowing. And so, yes, it does help create social bonds because we're literally bonding over loving the same vibration coming at us. Believe it or not, it has actually been proven that it improves brain structure. Says that there are musicians that have larger brain structures than non-musicians. So using music, singing, writing music, playing music literally makes parts of your brain that deal with that stronger and healthier and improves their structure. It also improves attention and problem solving, which I'm glad that they have proven because nowadays this never happened back in my day. Granted, I'm old, I'm Gen X, proud and shouting it from the rooftops, but going to high school in the early 90s, it was not even a thought that anyone would get to bring their Walkman and or their Discman and listen to music while they did their typing. Or, you know, it just wasn't. I think I might have had two teachers in all 4 years of high school that like might have played really low classical music in the, on their behind their desk because they knew it was helping their focus and their concentration, but it was not ever anything that students were allowed to access. Nowadays, my daughter, oh my gosh, she's in 5th grade, 10 years old. They use lots of different apps, and I don't remember exactly which one that this one is, but I believe that it is for doing coding because my kids' school teaches them coding from 1st grade on, which blows my mind. Also, I can barely turn my computer on. I got a new webcam, and it took me 45 minutes to figure out how to work it. I am not tech savvy. It is a struggle and I try, but here we are. I'm on the struggle bus. But Claire Lee will come home and introduce me songs. The first day that she came home and introduced a song to me that I literally had never heard before in my life, I bawled like a baby. It was so beautiful. It was so meaningful. It was so deep. And I was like, where in the world did you learn about this song, Clara? This is an amazing song. And I think it's called Home, but it's by a band called Cave Town. I was not familiar with this band. Now, my 22-year-olds were familiar with it and they were familiar with the song, but I was not at all. I had no clue about it. And I listened to that song and it just enveloped my heart. One, because it's a beautiful song with a beautiful message that's also very tragic, kind of. But the fact that my 10-year-old listened to that and it moved her just made my heart gush because she's so intuitive and she's such an empath. And the fact that she finds ways to cope with that through music is so magical. And as a mom, it it literally makes me tear up thinking about it because it's so beautiful. And I'm so glad that they get to listen to music while they're doing their coding because it does. It helps them focus. It helps them concentrate. And I wish that when I was a student that I was able to have that same access to music. So I'm really glad that we've come a long way in the last 30 years. But yeah, music is such a big part of our souls. Um, sorry, let me gather myself for a second. Music therapy programs can also help a lot with mental health. They are usually tailored to musical experience that are within a safe and supportive environment. And music is very powerful because it unfolds in real time and captures our attention. This makes it an ideal way to create specific experiences in the brain. So, if you are someone that wanted to seek music therapy, they would, the therapist would meet with you and talk with you, and you would, kind of do like a regular therapy session, but they would then start catering what you are listening to help you cope with what you're coping with. And the great thing is that music is essentially free. I mean, honestly, the way it streams now, we have access to every song. And that's another thing that blows my mind. I have been toting around a CD collection for 30 freaking years, and I finally decided to just go ahead and pay for Spotify. And now I can access every song I've ever wanted to listen to at my fingertips. And to me, that is also very magical because I never thought that we would get to the point where we could just have everything all the time, anytime we want it. Like it's just, I grew up on radio. I remember using my tape deck to record songs off of the radio and try to like get it so you weren't hearing the DJ at the beginning or the next song starting afterwards. And now, I mean, I can pick up my phone and I can type in any freaking song I can think of, and then bam, I can listen to it. Freaking awesome. I love it. Recently, researchers looked at the impact of music interventions on health related quality of life, and they tried to answer the question about the best way to help make that shift towards release, relaxation, and rehabilitation. This recent systematic review and meta analysis, which means a study of studies, showed that the use of musical interventions, such as listening to music, singing, and music therapy, can create significant improvements in mental health and smaller improvements in physical health related quality of life. So, like chronic pain, like that kind of stuff. While the researchers found a positive impact on the psychological quality of life, they found no one best interest or dose of music that works best for all people. Okay, so in therapy, you always want to do the least amount of intervention possible. So when they try to figure out how much music somebody needs to improve their situation, what they're saying is this research did not prove that there's any specific amount of music that's going to be the dosage. So for some people, it may be one song. For some people, it may be an hour worth of songs. It just kind of depends on the person. As complex human beings from a wide variety of cultures and a variety of life expectations and mental and physical health needs, our connection with music is very, very personal. Our relationship with music can be beautiful, vulnerable, and often complicated dance that shifts from moment to moment based on our mood, preferences, social situation, and previous experiences. There are times where music can have clear and an immediate impact on our well being. Easing a transition to sleep with a soothing playlist, finding motivation for exercise by listening to upbeat or dance music, aiding self expression of emotion by singing, and connecting to others by attending live musical performances. Those are all 4 things that we can all do anytime we want, virtually for free. And that is amazing. I just, I like to pause a second and really think that music is something that humans have been making for thousands and thousands of years. I mean, you think about ancient archaeological sites, they find musical instruments, they find evidence showing that there have been minstrels for a really, really long time. So, if this is something that humanity in general has been doing for thousands of years, I really think that we're onto something here, And the fact that now we have studies that provide concrete evidence that it is a benefit to us is it's so good. It just makes me so happy because I always just thought I was the weirdo that liked music and wanted to be a DJ when she grew up. Like, I didn't know that it was really helping me. But in retrospect, I think of some of the toughest times that I've been through in my life, and music has always gotten me through them. Always. In fact, when my mom passed away, she fell and hit her head on cement, and they care flighted her to the hospital. And I loaded her up on the helicopter, and I told her I loved her and I would see her at the hospital. And then I got in the car and drove as fast as I could to the hospital. And I still remember almost every single song that I heard on that car ride. And every time I hear those songs, regardless if that was a happy song before or not, it takes me back to that instant of not knowing if mom was going to make it or not. And that is just, that's so magical that some notes and some words can evoke so many feelings and so many ideas and so much love. So I hope that you can go through and think about the different songs throughout your life that you tie to certain experiences and use it for good. Maybe make a playlist of the song you heard when your first child was born, or maybe the song that reminds you of dating your husband. I have a playlist just for my husband, just songs that remind me of him. Now, they may not be songs he even likes. That doesn't mean it doesn't remind me of him. I have a lot of songs on there that he's just like, why is this my playlist? I'm like, this isn't a playlist for you. This is a playlist about you. And I love it. And I will tell you that if I am feeling irritated and I just want to fight, I will put on my playlist that is my husband's playlist, and I will instantly remember how much I freaking love him and that I really do need to cool my jets and not fight because he is the love of my life. And sometimes that's really helpful to have a reminder that, hey, don't forget you love me. And music does that for me. So, besides just an emotional movement with music, there's also a lot of research done about how different frequencies and hertzes are physically beneficial to us. They promote some of them promote relaxation, stress relief, and overall well-being. Sorry, I can speak. They've shown to positively impact mental, emotional, and physical health by generating vibrations that help achieve a state of calm and balance. And there are 9 of these different frequencies. They are called solfeggio, I think is how you say it. I could be butchering it. I'm sorry. I should have Googled how to say it before I started recording, but I got so excited to record an episode that I didn't. So it is spelled Solfeggio, solfeggio frequencies. But there's 9 of them. It's 174 hertz, 285 hertz, 396 hertz, 417, 528, 639, 741, 852, and 963. And each of those frequencies show different benefits. I wrote it down here. In an age where stress and anxiety are all too common, the simple power of sound therapy presents a remarkable opportunity for restoration and balance. One form of sound therapy that you may find helpful for improving well-being is solfeggio frequencies, a series of specific sound patterns believed to possess extraordinary properties that promote various health aspects depending on the frequency used. Although the logic behind these frequencies is believed to have existed since ancient times, like I said, humans have been making music for thousands of years. They fell into disuse before being rediscovered by Dr. Joseph Puleo in the 1970s. So, yeah, ancient knowledge that we lost that we've now gained again. And that is really what evolving is all about, is getting back to all of that knowledge that the universe has for us that we are too busy to listen to now. So thank you, Dr. Pulio from the 1970s. Says the rediscovery of ancient solfeggio frequencies set in motion a journey of exploration into the field of sound therapy. In the 1980s, biochemist Dr. Glenn Rains conducted further research on sound frequencies, looking into the effect of sound waves on the human body. Rains discovered that while some music types heal DNA, others harm it, proving the theory that sound frequencies have serious consequences for health and general wellness. What? What the what? Heal our DNA. We're talking about musical vibrations healing us on a DNA level. If that isn't freaking magical, I don't know what is. That's insane to me. Particular sound patterns interact with your brain to generate vibrations in your body. The vibrations can have positive mental, emotional, and physical effects, which may result in a state of calm, relaxation, stress relief, and even better sleep. The solfeggio frequency the solfeggio sound frequencies have gained popularity as an effective form of sound therapy that can help improve various aspects of well-being. From meditation and relaxation to achieving deep sleep, these frequencies come with several benefits. While it's important to note that the research around these frequencies is ongoing, you can consider trying them if you are struggling with a particular type of negative emotion. So we're going to start with the first one, 174 hertz. It is known as the healing frequency. It's been found to have the greatest potential effect on the physical body when compared with the other frequencies. This low frequency could alleviate pain and stress, improve concentration, give the organs in the body a sense of security. The frequency may also relax muscles and lessen tension in the body, making it particularly beneficial for those experiencing migraines or pain in the lower back, feet, legs, and more. So if you are wanting to find a frequency, first of all, you can find them everywhere. Just Google solfeggio frequencies on, you could do, YouTube has them. I have a playlist on Spotify that I love. I'm assuming that all the other music apps have it also. I don't use anything outside of Spotify, so I can't tell you if Prime Music or if Apple Music has it, but I'm guessing that if YouTube and Spotify have it, then the rest of them have it also. So, or you can even just type in 174 hertz and see what comes up. You will find hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of different frequencies that you can pick and choose what you want to listen to based on what you're trying to heal. The next one is 285 hertz. This frequency has the potential to heal and restore tissue. It could support the immune system, balance your energy, and increase feelings of security and safety. So a lot of times when you find playlists, it actually will go through all of the frequencies. Excuse me. So I like those. I also like chakra cleansing music that, starts with the root and goes all the way through. So for me, I am all about hitting all of 9 of these, but you don't have to. Say you really, really want to just focus on one, you can just listen to that frequency. And I did not say this earlier, but if you have a pair of these kind of headphones, they are going to change your life as far as the frequencies go. You can put your headphones on and you can just veg out and just let those frequencies do their thing. So I highly suggest this kind. I'm not saying that other types are not fine also, but, I prefer these over these any day of the week. So get you some good cans is what I call them. These are called mama's cans. So get you some mama cans. They are game changers. Plus, sometimes I just put them on my head so I can't hear my kids, and it don't even have them turned on. It's just like noise canceling headphones. So you got to do what you got to do to keep your sanity. But yes, sometimes they think I'm listening to a podcast and I am really just ignoring them. All right. That's why I'm okayist. And I hope you're okayist too, because that's what we do here. We don't do perfect. We do okay. The next one is 396 hertz, and it could aid in the elimination of guilt, subconscious fears, negative beliefs, and grief. providing a sense of security. Because the frequency generates uplifting energy, it may be effective as motivational music. So that one, I like that one. 417 hertz. The frequency may aid in the healing of trauma. It is said to help clear negative energy from your body and space, as well as negative thoughts and behaviors. 417 hertz could help you find the motivation to embrace change while also promoting restful sleep. So 417 hertz is a great one to sleep to because it's going to subconsciously be helping you heal traumas and clear negative energy while it is also helping you maintain good sleep. And I don't know if you know this, but good, healthy sleep is one of the foundations of having good mental health. Doesn't seem like they're tied together, but I'm going to tell you from the first day I ever walked into a psychiatrist's office, the first thing she said to me is, you need to find a way to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. At the time, I was about to go through a divorce. I already knew that it was ending and that I was having to move on, which thus why I was seeking therapy. It really helped me through all of it. But I was working full time. I went to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, got off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, would go pick up my daughter from school, spend a couple hours with her, be at school from 5 o'clock until 10:40 at night, and then come home and have to be up for work again. And like literally, it was impossible to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep because when you are at school until 11 o'clock and you have to be at work at 6 o'clock, you only have 7 hours right there anyway. So you come home, you take a shower, you go to bed, you toss and turn for a little while, you get 5 hours of sleep, and then you're up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready to be at work by 6. And it was flipping killing me. Now, many, many, many years later, like 17 years later, I am such a sleepmonger. And I'm one of those people that went from literally having to sedate myself to sleep and then also take something for anxiety so I didn't have night terrors, which is horrible, to someone that naturally can go to sleep. I do wake up throughout the night. I'm not going to lie, that happens quite a bit, but I can sleep 7 hours with no medication and wake up and actually feel refreshed. For the first time in my life, I am 46 years old. I would have thought in my 20s I would be able to do that, but I did not. I never got restful sleep. It was not until I started embracing a lot of life changes, including meditating and praying and yoga and physical exercise every day. And then the other thing that was just a no brainer, but nobody does that, is that if you want to get 8 hours of sleep, take the time that you have to get up and go back 9 hours. So if you want 7 hours of sleep, go back 8 hours. So give yourself an hour of wiggle room, but you need to be off devices, off your phone, off your tablet, off your computer, off your TV for an hour before you go to sleep so that you can go to sleep, so that you can get real restful sleep. And I will tell you that making those slight changes and those small sacrifices is completely worth the fact that I feel like a functioning human, and that when I wake up in the morning, I know that I have enough energy and focus and concentration to get through my day and succeed. Whereas before, I was so in such a cloud and such a head fog that it was almost like because I wasn't getting good sleep, I automatically woke up in a cortisol response and had anxiety, and it just snowballed. And so many years of practice, training, practice, training, I can now sleep unaided for 7 to 8 hours. I mean, sometimes if I'm lucky, I can get 8 or 9 hours if, dad wakes up with the kids on the weekend or whatever. So it's possible, but I definitely have used these frequencies to help me as well as guided meditations. But get out there, get on YouTube, look around. There are so many free resources that can really change your life. So please go look. All right, the next one is 528 hertz. And this is considered one of the most potent frequencies with a higher potential impact on sleep and wellness. Also known as the love frequency, miracle tone, and frequency of transformation, 528 hertz could stimulate imagination, intention, and intuition. I like that. Moreover, this frequency has been shown to support cortisol reduction. Ding, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner. Anything that's going to reduce your cortisol, in my opinion, is a keeper. So remember, 528 is a good cortisol minimizer. And then it helps lift your mood and put you in a state of serenity and relaxation, all of which can help improve sleep quality. So if you could find a playlist that maybe alternated between 417 and 528, that would be very good for a sleep cycle. The next one is 639 hertz, and it may aid in achieving mental balance. It can foster harmonious relationships between loved ones and the community in which you live. Plus, it promotes comprehension, communication, and tolerance. I like that. That's a good one too. That'd be something that might be good to, have playing in the background at your house, just so everybody's kind of a little bit more chill and gets along and, is more kind to each other. The next one is 741 hertz. This frequency could help with intellectual work and problem solving by potentially stimulating the mind, promoting creativity and self-expression, and providing mental clarity. It can also support decision making, which can lead to a healthier and more fulfilling life. It's also known as the detoxifying frequency and could be used to help those suffering from chronic pain. So this is the one you want to put on when you're studying or your kids are studying, or you're just, maybe you're just really trying to think through something. You can put this on and it's going to help you with that problem solving potential, and it'll help stimulate your mind. So 741 for that intellectual, get your brain going in the right direction frequency. The next one is 852 hertz. And that frequency can aid in the replacement of negative thoughts with positive ones, making it helpful for relieving nervousness or anxiety. Not to mention, who couldn't use a little bit of the transmutation from negative thoughts to positive ones? That is something that we all struggle with on a daily basis. And the more that we can train our brains to go from that negative state of mind to a more positive state of mind, the more those neural pathways are going to be used to be more positive. And then that will become our default. Instead of our default being worry and distress and anxiety, our default can be calmness and security and, all of the good things that we want. But as long as we're still waking up every day in a cortisol response and we're reacting to that, and then we're reacting to the next thing, then we're reacting to the next thing, we're not going to be able to replace those negative thoughts, because that's going to be our default. So every day that you can make a conscious decision to be more positive is a day that you're training your brain that it wants to be positive. That makes sense. The last one is 963 hertz, and it's associated with activating your pineal gland, or pineal gland, depending on how you say it, otherwise known as your third eye. It helps raise consciousness and awakens intuition. The frequency is also believed to increase positive energy and provide clarity. So say you're having something that you need to really tune into yourself, tune into your intuition, tune in to your inner knowing and your higher self. 963 is a good one for that. So next time you're trying to channel something, or you're trying to just, really, really dig in deep with your intuition, throw on some music in the back that's got 963 hertz. In order to get the most out of incorporating frequencies in your routine, it's good to find a quiet place. Ideally, you should find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. Choose the best frequency for your needs. Like I said before, some good places to get them are YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, etc. You should also ensure that your location you select allows you to position yourself in the most comfortable way possible. So, go in your bedroom. throw on your headphones or your earbuds, relax, lay down, go outside and sit in the sun in a lawn chair. I like going to a creek that's near me, and I take a little camping backpacking chair with me. I put it in my backpack and I take it with me down there, and I will just sit by the creek and throw my headphones on. And sometimes I do the earbuds so that I can still hear the water with the frequency. And that to me is just like the cherry on top. It's fantastic. Um, it does say to keep an eye on the volume. Set your preferred frequency to a volume that you're comfortable with because it is intended for relaxation. Music sounds used for healing and getting quality sleep should be set at low to moderate volume. So this is not something you're wanting to like out to. You just, set it to a reasonable level. Like I said, it makes really good background music. I know a lot of people like to have something going all the time. My husband likes to have the TV all the time. I can't stand that. I much more would rather have music going all the time. But, it can just be like the story in the back of your life is just going. So just think about keeping it low in the background. Also, when you're doing this therapy with using the frequencies, relax. Listening to the frequencies should be effortless. Allow yourself to be present with the sound vibrations as they wash over you and help you relax. Also, remember that due to the relaxing nature of the frequencies, listening to sound patterns while performing tasks that require your full attention is probably not a good idea. That is what the people say. Now, what I say is a little bit different. Now, you can take this with a grain of salt because I am by no way a medical professional and I am not giving you a professional opinion. I am giving you my personal opinion. Yes, they are relaxing. Yes, they can be, they can make you sleepy, some of them. But I've never once been doing the dishes or working in the yard or cleaning the house and like just nodded off. So you can listen to them while you're doing tasks. Just be aware of what is your goal with listening and what are you trying to accomplish as far as a physical task at the time, and just make sure that they balance each other. We talked earlier that it can have a structural effect on your body. And these are different effects that it has specifically on the brain. It activates brain regions. Music activates many parts of the brain, including the temporal lobe, cerebellum, amygdala, hippocampus, and the limbic system. Music also releases dopamine. And if you don't know about dopamine, dopamine is the anti-cortisol. So what you want in your life is to bring up your dopamine and your serotonin and bring down your cortisol. So listening to music can release dopamine. It can trigger release of dopamine, which is a hormone that can make you feel happy and content. Listening to music improves brain mood and mental alertness. It also can help calm, lower your heart rate, deepen your breathing, which will help reduce anxiety. Low frequency waves in music can help you relax and improve your sleep. Listening to music can help brain cells process information more efficiently, improving memory. Musical training can increase the connectivity of certain brain regions, actually altering brain structure. Like we talked about earlier, that if you were a musician and you were learning to play and learning to sing and learning to read music and learning to compose music, you were literally using parts of your brain that other people don't use. It's not something that is used by everyone. So the more you incorporate different ways of taking in music and making music and enjoying music, the more you are going to change that brain structure. Music can also be cathartic because it allows you to experience sadness without having to go through it. Thus, like I was talking about the songs that remind me of when my mom was passing away. I can listen. There's one song comes on the radio pretty often, so I hear it even if I don't want to. It's in my life, and when I hear it almost every single time, I completely break down in tears. And then when it's over, I wipe my tears off and continue on my day. So it's like I got to have one little 3 minute section of grieving, and then I can just wrap it up and move on. And granted, my mom passed 7 years ago, my dad passed 10 years ago. So this is not like a new grief. This is a very solidified grief. I have gone through all the stages of grieving. And even when you go through all the stages of grieving, you still have grief inside of you. It doesn't ever leave, it just kind of changes shape. But yeah, you can use it, and not just sadness, you can use it to make any emotion come to the surface. So there are songs that make me mad. Now, do I listen to them only when I'm mad? There are songs that make you sad. There are songs that make you happy. There are songs that make you hopeful. So you can pick any feeling. It does not have to be catharsis, but it is very nice that you can have a cathartic moment with just music and not have to completely relive the trauma that's causing you that pain. And it helps you feel your feelings. Listening to sad music can help you feel some pleasant emotions, and that's true. I know that when I listen to the songs that remind me of my mom passing, that there is a sweet love to it. Like, even though I'm sad, there's still a bittersweet love behind the feelings that I'm having during listening to the music. And like we said earlier, learning to play an instrument can have many benefits for the brain, including improving attention, memory, and problem solving abilities. So, I, as a child, wanted to be in band, and I am the fourth of five children. So, when my oldest sibling wanted to be in band, there was a saxophone that was bought. That saxophone then went down to the second. That saxophone then went down to the third. The third person sold it and bought a guitar instead. And so when it came to be my turn to be in band, back then they didn't just like rent instruments like they do now, and they certainly did not provide them. You had to provide your own instrument. So I was told that I was not allowed to be in band because there was no longer an instrument, and that I had to be in choir or art or drama. And so that is what I did. And to this day, I still feel like I was cheated out of getting to learn how to play an instrument because I have wanted to play an instrument my entire life. Now, have I tried throughout my life to play instruments? Yes. I can bang around a piano halfway decently. I can read music enough to not make a fool of myself at church when we sing a song and I don't know it. I am the person that wants the hymnal right in front of me. I do not want to sing from the screen because that screen doesn't tell me anything about what that song is doing. So I do have a little bit of musical talent. I just, I'm not one of those people that can pick up an instrument and play it. And I'm so jealous of those people. And I have some friends that are like that. I have a handful of friends that are that type of musician. And I am just in awe every time I see someone play an instrument, because it's taking this inanimate object and turning it into something with so much life and so much effect on the environment that it's being played in. And I just, like I said, I just think that music is so freaking magical that I think everyone should learn either how to sing, how to play, or just really get to the point where you're just an appreciator of music. I just want everyone to slow down and just really take a moment to appreciate how magical music is in our life and how we can use music as moms to make our lives easier, whether that's, finding frequencies that are helping ourselves, maybe putting our children to sleep to frequencies that are going to help their sleep. One of them mentioned a love frequency, maybe using that to help improve your marriage or your relationship. And then outside of the frequencies, just songs. Like, everybody has songs they love. And like, I know my youngest, he's 7. when he is being a little crabby butt or a little butthead, I am like, if we're in the car, I'll preface it with that. I don't usually do this at the house, but I know that if I put on any song by the Gorillas, he is going to flip his mood and he is going to start singing and dancing and be in a better mood. And we all have songs like that. We all have songs that when we hear them, we automatically are like, wait a minute, why am I being a butthead? I can just listen to this song and be happy. And it's not even a conscious decision. It is literally within our souls, within our hearts, that these songs affect us. And so there's so many ways that we can use music to bring magic not only to our own lives but to our families' lives. And it helps us be more present for them. It helps us be more present for ourselves. And so I hope that you can go out and go forth and really take time to notice what music is doing for your life and for you, and then start utilizing it in ways that benefit you, your mental health, and your journey, because that's really what it's all about, is finding all the little things that can make this journey just a little bit more magical. So thank you again for joining me today. I look forward to hearing from you and getting your feedback and sharing your playlists with me. I cannot wait to see them. But thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to share this podcast with your friends. It's brand new, so every share is very appreciated. Every download is very appreciated. And just you showing up and listening is very appreciated. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Until the next episode, y'all just stay magic.